I completely forgot. All right, what's good, YouTube? What's going on, guys? All right, so pretty much what I'm liking for today, guys, is okay. So coming to market open, first 5 minute candle is a straight selling candle, right? If you measure out this candle, it is. I haven't measured it, but it's definitely more than 40 points. Yeah, it's almost 70 points. All right, so almost double the amount for a valid fair value gap. All right. Now, has this gap closed? Not yet. It will actually close in about 3 seconds from now. Okay, so I gotta speak quick so I can actually get the alert if it plays out. All right, so if you guys zoom out, you guys might realize that we created an Asia high at 23,065. All right, we took out this Asia high right over here during the London session. We retraced into it. We took out the London high and we swept right back down. So we took out both Asia and London high. All right, what are we doing now? Well, we are selling off and we're currently holding below these levels of liquidity. All right, which means that we have the DOL sweep confirmation with the selling pressure coming in, or with us holding below these two levels of liquidity and the selling pressure coming in, we're definitely leaning more towards bearish than bullish. All right. Now, do we have room for lower? Well, yes, we actually have this low right here, which is kind of more of like an internal low on the smaller time frame, which we're gonna mark out just like this internal low DOL, right? And we also have this London low and this Asia low right next to each other. So I'm just gonna mark out the Asia low just so I don't, mess you guys up with with too many lines on the chart. But now you guys know, yeah, we have like the same range right over here. So we definitely have room for lower. All right. So what do I want to see coming into market open? All right. Well, we've only had about 2.5 candles, right? And I'm seeing 2.5 because this 5 minute candle just opened up. All right. So what I want to see right now is a simple retracement into this gap. If we can follow up with like a 30-point sell-off, we could get a possible entry to then target the main low, which would be the London and Asia low right over here that we created last night. All right, and possibly even lower. I mean, maybe until here. So we could target like these three levels right here, right? We don't want to do too much because we gotta be realistic here. All right. Let me see. A 30-point sell-off is a 10-point TP. Good point, right? But keep in mind this is an internal low, so it's probably not gonna be the strongest one. And we can hit this level. Maybe not take trims and just probably hold for the main price targets. It'll be a little bit riskier, obviously, since we did just finish taking out a level of liquidity, but it's an internal one, so it's not really as strong as these main lows, just like the London and Asia low that's kind of right here. All right, let me see. My 5 minute isn't working on TopStep. Yeah, guys, TopStep right now is having some server issues, so if you guys are joining, you're probably wondering like, yo, I can't get a trade going. Guys, apparently, TopStep is having some server-sided issue or something that is just not making the charts load up. So give it a little bit. If you can't get the trade in time, don't worry about it. The world keeps spinning. You know what I mean? You'll be fine. You know what I mean? Just go on to the next one. All right. But I can't really control on how fast the market moves and and anything. So we'll see how that goes. All right. But yeah, so far in the meantime, pretty much what I want to see, guys, is once again we identified the H. Let me drink some water here. We identified the Asia high over here. We swept it during London. We created a London high. We swept this during New York, right? Pretty much sweeping both the Asia and London high drawn liquidity. What are we doing? Holding below level of liquidity. What else are we doing? We're selling off with a lot of volume to a point where we created the entry model, which is going to be the fair value gap. Now, we have room for lower into this internal, which is not our main price target, but into the Asia/London low right over here, which is our main price target, right? So what are we looking for? A simple retracement, 30-point sell-off. We enter, we target this low. All right. Now let me make sure I'm live on YouTube. What's going on, guys? Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm going to put out that I'm live real quick. Yes, hasn't swept London yet. No. Oh, I was about to say maybe it did sweep the. I gotta keep my levels real quick. Hold on, let me kind of like update these levels. I will say, ES does look a little stronger than NQ, right? A little bit, yeah, a little stronger to the upside. I gotta fix all of this. All right, time frame liquidity right over here. And then we have an internal right over here. I'm just hoping that NQ doesn't really sell off because it does look weak. It definitely wants more downside than upside. That's for sure. You know what I mean? It's the problem is can we afford a retracement before we go any lower? You know what I mean? That's the thing. Now, I don't really think we have any news to that to come out. Now, guys, um, you guys know typically we have Trump speaking every now and then. Can someone update me and tell me if Trump is speaking today or anything, just so we don't have any unexpected pumps or dumps? Right? Because usually on Forex Factory they do tell you when Trump is speaking, but lately they haven't been putting it, and it literally messed us up on what was it, Monday or something? That's very true. Yeah. So if you guys know that Trump is speaking, and I myself I don't know. So if you guys do know, let me know. And obviously back it up with some source, so I can obviously tell if it's the truth or not. All right. We have not, no, that doesn't really move NQ. So that won't be an issue. That won't be an issue. And I'm assuming that's a yellow folder, right? The only red folder that we had for today was the unemployment claims, which is every Thursday, which really doesn't do anything either way. Um, but yeah, right now we are getting some selling, which I don't really want to see. I really want to see a retracement first. Hopefully, we're able to afford it here. But if not, I mean, it's not really going to be a huge deal. But if we take out this level of liquidity, taking shorts right after is going to be a little riskier, is what I'm trying to say. Because obviously, although I'm saying that it's not the strongest level of liquidity, it still is a valid level of liquidity, and the market can still reverse if it wants to. All right, top step working now. Bet. Bet. Yeah, here, Elms. There you go. But I'm really hoping that ES is able to hold this up, because ES, obviously, it seems like NQ is selling off right now, and ES wants to hold it up to take out this Asia high over here, maybe even this external. All right. But NQ, on the other hand, we have a little bit of an SMT here, right? We have NQ dumping, ES pumping. All right, not really pumping, but it's just holding up, so it's stronger. That's what I'm trying to say. But from the looks of it, we're probably going to take out this low. All right, it doesn't mean that this fair value gap is invalid anymore. We can't take it, but obviously the further away we get from it, the bias changes, right? And it's going to take longer and less likely to even get an entry into what we wanted to trade into. All right, now, who knows? Maybe we create another gap here, and maybe we can take another trade here, maybe. But in the meantime, we have just this one to work with. Now, I'm hoping that, something happens here that we just push up into the gap without barely taking out the level of liquidity. But yeah. Still not loading for top step? Ah, bro. Well, hopefully this whatever's happening here can buy you some time to get it back up. But what is it that's freezing? Because someone here said I went on the 1 minute time frame and it works, but someone went on the 5 minute and it's freezing. That makes no sense. But see. Yeah, guys. So far the game plan, obviously, it's on the screen. So I guess now it's just kind of wait for something to happen. Oh, never mind. We were holding it up for a second, but I looked down for a second and it goes right back down. All right, so we hit this level of liquidity. Now, we could have something interesting to work with. Because okay, let's say for example, we fully reverse off this level, which I don't really think is gonna happen because we definitely might want lower, especially with the selling pressure coming in. But if we do end up what's it called? If we do end up reversing here, 27. No, we're probably gonna create a fair value cap here, if anything. Because what we have here is 35 points. But the problem is if we create a gap here, which we're about to, I mean 40 points, if we see 992, we create the fair value gap there. But the problem is, guys, if we get a retracement, we're barely gonna get any price targets to the downside. I mean, we're barely gonna afford 30 points. Um, at least our bias was right. You know what I mean? That's a good thing. But we just couldn't get an entry there. Let's see what I can work with here. Because yeah, now we have 40 points for sure, right? Yeah, 45 points in fact. Mm. What we can do is if we continue selling off, which we probably will. I'm not really expecting us to really reverse out of nowhere. You know what I mean? We're probably gonna take out these levels. I mean, it's what we were expecting, right? So we were right on that. But what we can do is now that we created another fair value gap, if we take out both of these lows and buyers start stepping in just like how they are right now, what we could do is possibly take an inverse. But it's only 19 points for PT1, and we have a fair value gap right on top of that, which would be a lot riskier. I mean, who knows? That's if we get a what's it called? Yeah, that's my train of thought. If we take out the level of liquidity and we get a reversal. But right now, I mean, we're kind of bouncing up before we get the level of liquidity. So obviously the buy still remains bearish until we take out this level of liquidity. Maybe we get a retracement into the gap and go back down. I mean, if we do, let's say for example, we can get like 40 points, which is not bad for at least for a scalp. But maybe we go lower. I mean, I'm not saying this is gonna be the final point of the market, but it could be, you know. But I'm interested. Let's see how this holds up right here. Silver bullet? No, it hasn't happened yet. It happens in 10 minutes. Yes, looks stuck. Well, it's not really that it's stuck. Okay, actually it is. I was gonna say because we were selling off, and obviously with ES being the strong one, it's not gonna sell off. But now that we're pushing up, it is stuck. So you're right. What's silver bullet? On I don't really know what exactly it is because I don't really like study it that much. But pretty much what I'm pretty sure what the meaning is okay. It's macro times, right? Around there, yeah, macro times. So pretty much every day at 10 a.m. you might see a spike in volume. At 3:50 you might see another spike in volume. At 1 p.m. you might see a spike in volume. All right, I'm pretty sure that's labeled silver bullet. If it's not, it doesn't matter. It still happens in the market. It's just like in certain times of the markets, you're gonna notice like an unexpected spike. All right, why didn't you take the London high at 23? Well, there's no setup, bro. That's a confirmation, but not an entry model. We were trying to get an entry off this, but we never got the retracement. Guys, my bro, I don't know if this is like normal or not. I don't know if I should be worried. It's a long story. All right, guys. Now while we wait for the setup, I feel like I have enough time to say it. Guys, I've been having this. Maybe there's some doctors in here or something that you guys might be, trading on the side or whatever. But guys, I've been having this really, really, really big headache since yesterday. And it's not like a headache that just comes out of nowhere. Bro's gonna die. Come on though. No. It's not a headache that comes out of nowhere. Okay, so funny story actually. You guys know how I didn't trade yesterday. I gave you guys a trade. Oh, by the way, we're selling off. All right. So yeah, if anything, let's see if we can probably get an inverse off this. But in the meantime, guys, so we'll wait for everything to kind of happen here. I have a headache since yesterday, and I woke up with the headache being kind of the same pain. Um. Oh yeah, no, we're selling. Oh wow, we're selling off a lot here. But anyways, okay. So funny story. Yesterday, after I finished giving you guys a trade and everything, which by the way was an amazing trade. Hopefully you guys were able to catch it. It went for about 55 points. It hit the price target and everything. Um, Doctor here, you got a day to live. All right, bro. Anyways, okay. So wait, let me mark this out. So I went to go because I really wanted to clear my mind yesterday. I've been a little bit stressed. Just a lot of work, on a lot of pressure, a lot of work that I've been having lately, with the server and my other businesses and all that stuff. And typically it happens. I just kind of disconnect and just go out, right? So I went on a jet ski, right? And this has never happened. So I go to this one island, right? Let me mark this out real quick. I go to this one island and I'm just kind of cruising around, just listening to music, and I see like a well in the middle of the ocean. I'm like, from afar, I'm like, what? Since when was there a well here? I got nothing to do. Let me go check and see what it is, right? And I get closer and I start seeing like rocks, right? And I see like the well, it's like rocks in a circle. I'm like, okay, well, what is this? So I speed up a little bit and I start seeing seagrass. And that's when I knew I was fucked because I already sped up. I can't slow down. I gotta let go of the throttle and it has to slow down by itself. And out of nowhere, I just start seeing sand just come up like crazy, like a hill of sand. I'm like, yo, that's it, I'm fucked. And then, dude, I get beached, bro. The jet ski gets stuck there. I'm like, no way. So, dude, I'm stuck there for 55 minutes until the tide comes back up, bro. Dude, because the tide was low and I didn't know until it was too late, bro. And I'm like, fuck, bro. I'm not trying to wait this out because, dude, the weather is perfect. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to do that shit right now. So, you know what I mean? Before I decided to wait for the tide to come back up, I'm like, let me try to push out the jet ski. So I try wiggling it out, and dude, I don't think I've ever pushed any harder. It got to the point where I almost popped the vein because I was pushing so hard, bro. And ever since then, bro, my head has been hurting. So I don't know if I did something to my brain or something that my head is hurting or some shit. Because, dude, I pushed hard. Dude, I pushed hard a few times, and dude, it didn't even move like a millimeter, bro. So I'm like, fuck it, bro. I gotta wait for the tide to come back up. More of the story, bro. I was in the boiling hot sun watching TikToks. Well, everyone was not everyone. There was like 3 people. People were looking at me. They're like, "Yo, how the hell is this guy like standing on the water?" Dude, I was stuck on there for 55 minutes with a boiling hot sun, bro. No sunscreen, no nothing, bro. So now my head hurts, and it hurts. Like it's been hurting. It's a little better, but dude, I woke up today. I'm like, yo, like I don't even know if I want to trade, bro, because like, nah, it's not an excuse, but dude, my head has been hurting a little bit. And I know it's from that because my head wasn't hurting beforehand. Until I really pushed like my limits. I'm trying to push it out. I don't know. I will get this when I lift. Shit sucks, dude. Yeah, but the thing is, I try. I'm like, maybe if I sleep it out, you know what I mean? It was really bad yesterday, but dude, I promise you, bro. I nearly blacked out trying to like push that shit out. But yeah, where's it located? It's like the left side of like my forehead is where it feels. I'm sure it will go away. It's probably like a normal thing. But it's a funny story, you know. Just so you guys know, next time if you see rocks, don't investigate. You know what I mean? Maybe get very far away from it. You know, it's probably the better thing to do. But it's a lesson learned for sure. Anyways, okay, back to the chart, right? I mean, you know, in the meantime, we were waiting for something to happen. We tried getting a deal Wall Street, but it kind of still seems like sellers are stepping in still. Um, so maybe guys, if we hold below this level of liquidity, obviously the trend is bearish. Our bias is kind of neutral. We're still waiting to see whether we get a reaction or not based off of this Asia/London low. Obviously, guys, in the next few minutes, if we're able to hold above these 2 levels of liquidity right here, we will be bearish. We will be leaning more towards bullish. My bad, not bearish, bullish. Right now, if the selling continues and we continue to hold below these 2 levels of liquidity, and we continue selling off, then obviously we'll stay bearish until we see this New York low at 919, which will be this one right down here. All right, now we do have some extra, you know, price targets here, but I don't really think these are too important. If we're gonna go down with a lot of selling, I would expect us to take out this main low right over here. All right, and now from the looks of it, um, we're still selling, obviously. ES, no, forget about ES, bro. ES is out of the picture for today, dude. This thing has done absolutely nothing. It's not doing anything. All right, so we're obviously focusing on what NQ tells us. All right, but yeah. Anyways, we are selling off like crazy. And by the way, I'm gonna check up on the chat right now, and I am seeing some questions. Give me 1 second. I'm assuming we do have a fair value gap. It's the same thing here though. It's like we're so close to this New York low as well. Worst comes to worst, guys. If we don't get any sort of a pullback for today, there's a fair value gap right there being formed, guys. If we don't get any sort of a fair value gap retracement for this morning, what we could do is we can kind of wait out the market a little bit. Obviously, wait for the selling to kind of die down and slow down a little bit for buyers to obviously start picking it back up. And what we could do is could just inverse the nearest fair value gap and just target the rest as a PT. And we could do that as well because obviously right now we are taking out most, if not all, price targets before even barely getting an entry. All right, so it's not like we can really do anything here. Yeah, at least, but we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully, we're able to get some sort of a reversal soon, so we can probably take longs off this, which is what I want to see. But obviously, right now we are still holding below the level of liquidity, which means that we are still sitting bearish, especially with the selling coming in. All right, bro. All right, let me catch you with the. I saw a question here. Hey, David, I've noticed that when we enter trades, that we usually end up on pullbacks. I was wondering, why don't we just wait for the pullback or enter off the pullback? Because I see as soon as we enter a trade, we go red very fast and then take a while to go back green. Well, you got to keep in mind that's not always the case, and you got to keep in mind that with any entry that you take, it won't always be green instantly. All right. Now, you have to keep in mind I have two models. One is a reversal model, which we kind of take it as the market is selling off. There are cases where we take an entry if the selling is coming in very, very strong. There's obviously we're not going to get a pullback, right? So you have to enter as it's selling off. Now, if the volume is kind of questionable or whatever, I have a continuation model, which we then wait for a pullback, then a rejection. All right. Does that mean that we're immune to pullbacks? No, it could still happen. You know what I mean? So I know maybe you're probably talking about yesterday's trade, which maybe you guys probably shot a brick. You know what I mean? I don't blame you. If you guys don't know what happened yesterday, we pretty much I gave you guys a trade idea. Pretty much the whole game plan was, hey, we took out all-time highs. The selling is kind of dying down. I'm expecting sellers to step in soon. Once sellers step in, we could take an inverse off this. We ended up getting the inverse and a little bit. As we got that inverse, we got a little bit of a scary pullback. We had a 35-point stop loss, and we pulled back about 32 points, which is a little scary, right? But more of the story, I mean, the trade did end up playing out. Now, does this always happen? No. It depends on the selling. It depends on the market condition. All right? Same thing goes for the continuation model. If we wait for a pullback into a fair value gap, then a rejection, does that mean that we're immune to not seeing red on the trade? All right? Now, is it better? Yeah, because, I mean, we just had the pullback, right? Which means that we're probably not going to get it again. Does it mean it can't happen? No, it definitely can. You know what I mean? If anything, it can even stop us out. All right? Now, going back to the chart, we are about to take out this New York low, and we have yet to get an entry, guys. Then there it is. We just took out the New York low. Now, like I said, if we can't get any sort of a setup here. Wait, someone said take an extra strength Tylenol? Yeah, Tylenol. Put it on cold ice or ice patch in your hand and drink some cold water. Yeah, I should probably start with the drinking cold water. I haven't even drank water this morning. I only got one sip. But I'm sure it'll go away. But anyways, okay. So I guess, guys, we're gonna have to go to Plan B. All right. Now, what is Plan B? Well, I kind of just told you guys, like maybe 2 minutes ago. All right, but I will repeat it just in case. Okay, guys. Pretty much what Plan B is obviously coming to market open. If you guys tuned into the stream as soon as I started it, you guys obviously knew that I told you guys, hey, we're definitely leaning more towards bearish. Sellers are stepping in. We have some bearish setups, and we definitely have room for lower. Let's try to take shorts. We didn't get anything, unfortunately. You know what I mean? We took out all three of our levels of liquidity, and we didn't get a single retracement. We didn't get a single inverse. We didn't get anything, right? So we couldn't really catch any sort of a setup, which is fine. You know what I mean? Now that the objective to the downside has been taken out, we gotta move over to Plan B, which is instead of looking for a retracement, we're gonna look for an inverse off one of the many fair value gaps that we formed to the downside, and simply just wait for that inverse. We take it, and we have our price targets at the fair value gaps. You guys might have realized that today we only have one pullback, which is this one. All right. So if we were to take longs, right? Which I'm gonna delete all of these levels as obviously they're not really as important anymore. Guys, as long as we're able to hold above this New York low and sellers start dying down a little bit, right? And buyers obviously have enough to take control, we can look to take an inverse based off of that 15-minute, probably the 15-minute. I'm probably gonna rely off this one, which is 100 points away or about 90 points away or 85 points away, which is a lot. I don't really have another way of entering. There's no fair value gap here. There's no fair value gap here. There's no gap here either because this candle is mainly a wick. The only gap that we have nearby is this one over here. And on top of that, look at this, guys. Our entry, if we were to take an inverse, would be off this one right here, right? On the 5-minute. If we go over to the 15-minute time frame, it's the same exact inverse. So it's a 2-in-1, which is even better. All right. So what I want to see here, or maybe actually, you know what would be better? If we create a gap here, then we could target this up here because I don't want to wait 100 points to then get an entry to then target higher. So we have 41 seconds left into this candle. If we can sell off a little more, we can create a gap here and probably just inverse it at the complete bottom, which would be a little bit riskier just because we're not gonna have as much confirmation as we would if we go all the way up here. But we could definitely risk it a little bit and go from there. Why aren't those gaps? Because remember, when we're looking for gaps, we're looking for active volume in the candle. We're not looking for wicks. All right, so when we're looking at these candles, more than half of these candles are pretty much wicks. All right, and we don't want that. All right, we want full candles just like this one, and just like this one, and just like this one. All right, now we have 5 seconds left. Can we get an unexpected sell-off? I'm happy with that. All right, I'm happy with that. Now, as long as buyers just don't step in for the next 5 minutes, I'll be happy because then we can look to inverse this fair value gap right over here. All right, now, are my hopes high for the setup? No. Why? Because, guys, we already took out majority of the levels of liquidity. Buyers have been already trying to step in these last, like, 3 candles over here. So maybe sellers just completely get out of the picture, especially now that they took out the objective. But we can only hope. All right, we have to hold down for 4 minutes. In the next candle, if we get a nice buying candle, then we can look to inverse this and target everything to the upside, which would pretty much just be like 3 price targets, right? It will be this one over here, the fair value gap, right over here, right? The fair value gap entry. We would have the pullback, and then obviously we'll have the complete New York high over here. All right, so it's a possibility. Now, yeah, I do know that we have a huge gap on the 15-minute time frame, which does it scare me a little, because obviously anything can happen inside of this huge range over here, but we could probably get a 30-point price target as we get the retracement. We could take trims and then move our stop loss to break even, and whatever we do inside of this gap, it won't even matter anymore. You know what I mean? But yeah. Anyways, we do have some extra levels of liquidity to the downside. I'm not really targeting 874. I'm not really expecting much from that, but we do have 843, which I kind of do like. Now, am I expecting that? We sold off quite a bit. I mean, how much lower can we really go? I would love to trade into lower. I'm not saying that I won't trade into it, but it's just we're not getting any pullbacks. I mean, we haven't gotten a single retracement into any of our entry models. All right, but now that we took out majority of the lows, which is the internal, the London, the Asia, and the New York low from yesterday, I'm kind of expecting more of a pullback to happen sometime soon. All right, and I'm hoping it happens in the next candle, but we have to wait 3 minutes first. All right, now I really like the way we kind of reversed this back up from red to green, which is beautiful, but I don't want it to be so beautiful to the point where we completely mess up the entry. All right, remember, we want to enter off this gap right over here. If we measure it out, it's about 45 points, 45.75 points, which is beautiful. And if we do enter, if the buying pressure does look really, really nice, we can definitely look to take something like this and have about 3 to 4 price targets, which will look more like this, for example, right? It could look... Now, I would want to target the 15-minute gap as well. So something like this, more for like a light scale, just so we know that we're entering the 15-minute fair value gap. So 15-minute fair value gap, start. I'm gonna put start, right? This is where the 15-minute bearish one starts. All right, I'm gonna put bearish fair value gap. Bearish fair value gap starts, right? So we could definitely target this. Then we will have this 5-minute gap as our second price target. So 5-minute bearish FEG up as a price target. Then we would have the pullback, which would be another 5-minute bearish fair value gap. Dude, this headache really has me like not feeling well. Hopefully today's a quick day so I can take another nap, bro, because I'm trying to work through it, but man, it's definitely there, man. No. Don't tell me that we inverse this fair value gap in the same candle, bro. I need sellers to pick up. I mean, they were there a second ago. I need them to come right back down, man. I need the setup to work out because I'm not trying to wait 100 points. Yeah, I'm not trying to wait 100 points to get an entry to then hope for another 100 points. I'm not trying to do that. I'm not trying to do that right now. You know what I mean? So hopefully sell off, hold this down for the next minute and 30 seconds, and then we can inverse it. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to get this right now. So yeah. Because we have a beautiful look in the chart for a reversal, but don't reverse so quick. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to do that right now. We need one more pullback. You know what? We're due for a pullback, right, guys? We're due for a pullback, yeah. It's like the market knows what you're trying to do. Oh, pretty much. Start screaming at it. I mean, it knows it's due for a pullback. You know what I mean? Like, we can go down. We can afford a little bit lower. You know what I mean? Sellers are still there, right? We can hold on the setup. But yeah, all jokes aside, guys, this is pretty much what I'm looking for right now. As we have 30 seconds left, as long as we don't push up 10 more points, guys, but I'm gonna close my eyes, guys. I'm gonna close my eyes, and I'm gonna open them in about 20 seconds. All right, I'm not gonna close my eyes, but because I actually have to look at the charts. But I'm really hoping that we don't get just the most random buying candle and inverses fair value gap on at the same candle in the next 15 seconds. Come on, bro. We can only hope, bro. We can only hope. It's right there. It's right there. Wait, actually, in the meantime, let me type up an alert just in case we do get an entry. Come on, don't push up 10 points in the next 4 seconds. Come on, come on, come on. It's right there. It's trying to. It's trying to. But we close it. Beautiful. Okay, so the setup is still there. All right, I got a little bit scared there, but we're good. We're good. We're good for the setup. All right, and I got to type the alert out because we're about to get an inverse, and I got to lock in real quick. So 22961.25. Oh my God, we got the inverse, bro. I can't alert this in time. 10.50. Hold up, guys. Hold up. Okay, I'm just going to find the entry soon, and I just type up the alert right after, bro. The alert can wait. You know what I mean? I mean, most people are on live either way. So let me see if I can get an entry soon. In the meantime, let me finish typing this up. 23,043 and 23,090. Okay, and then our stop loss will be about 30 points. So 22.97. Okay, beautiful. Okay, let's see if this buying pressure holds up so I can find an entry soon above the fair value gap. We are getting a pretty nice reversal confirmation here. I don't want to get too late of an entry either. All right, I'm in longs, guys. I'm in these longs. All right, I'm gonna set my stop loss. As much as I would love to set it at the low of day, I feel like it's too much of a far stop loss. So I'll just stick to 30 for today. So I'll do a 907 stop loss for now. But I ended up getting a fill at 22,943. All right, guys. So let me go ahead and put this out real quick. Give me 1 second. Dude, this headache is really getting the best of me, bro. I'm really hoping this trade can play out really quick, so I can go back to bed, man, because wow, it's kind of hurting a little bit. All right, we're kind of pushing up here. We are currently up. It looks like we're up a lot, but we're not really up too much. But yeah, in the meantime, guys, I'm gonna go. Let me set my stop loss before I always forget. So yeah, my stop loss will be placed at 907, guys. That is gonna be my stop loss, 907. So pretty close to low of day. All right, guys, I'm gonna go get some cold water really quick because this headache is really getting me. Hold up. All right, I am back. All right, guys. So yeah, I got some cold water. I'm getting a little bit worried. I really don't know how I should be feeling about that. But anyways, I'm back. But yeah, all right. But like I said, guys, I would, I want to take trims a little bit earlier than usual at this 15-minute fair value gap. I just don't want to be risking us entering this 15-minute gap and just the setup completely. I mean, to be fair, oh no. I was gonna say, to be fair, the gap hasn't really closed yet, but it's gonna close in 1 minute from now. So that can also be a little bit of an issue as well if we do see it. So if anything, I will probably take scales out at 22,961. Maybe not as much, but I definitely want to work somewhere around there. All right, I definitely want to work some trims around there for sure. All right, guys. But yeah, could have ruptured something. Always sealed. Yeah, bro. I might check out a doctor today, bro, because this is kind of, this can't be the end of Blastoise, bro. The lore has to continue, bro. You know what I mean? So yeah, I should probably get it checked out today, bro, because I am getting a little worried. It was a little bit bad yesterday. It kind of got a little bit better, but dude, it's still hurting me a little bit. Just dehydration and strain? Yeah, probably. But anyways, price is kind of just sitting here, so maybe it's deciding whether it wants to reverse or not. I will say I probably didn't say this before I entered the trade, and maybe I did. I don't know. Sometimes I don't even know what I'm saying. But guys, I don't remember what I say. Guys, this trade is obviously a little bit riskier than usual, and the reason I'm saying it's a little bit riskier than usual is because we're trying to time the bottom. All right, now timing the bottom isn't always, the easiest for sure. I mean, obviously, whether it's what I'm trying to say is we either enter early and a riskier entry put more money in our pockets if we do get the right entry, or we enter way later, less money in our pockets, more waiting on us, but more confirmation. All right, so keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Sounds like you strain a muscle. Drink some water and put some salt, fresh lemons. I got you, bro. I'll check that out. I've heard about the lemon method, and it's definitely not helping me talking every 2 seconds and just not stopping. You know what I mean? So, so yeah. Hopefully, I'm gonna be a little bit quiet for now, just because my it is hurting a little bit. Let me see. Um, all right, we're seeing a nice push up here, guys. So, like I said, I don't really want to take too much skills out here, but it's a price target. We gotta respect it. Look what happened to me on Tuesday, or today's Wednesday, right? Let's say it's Thursday. Look what happened to me on Tuesday. Learn from my mistake. All right, guys. Don't get greedy when the price targets are there. If the market is telling you to sell, you gotta click that button. All right. Bro, no way. We edged the price target, bro. Right, I got a message. Let's see, bro. No way. All right, let me see. Let me make sure everything's looking good. Okay, bye. Yeah, I want to see a strict hit on 961 before I take out any scales. I'll probably do something like, maybe half of my position. I know, guys, it might not be as many points, but guys, I can't really control how far and how close the price targets are. I'm just giving you guys what the market is telling me. All right, guys. Now, like I said, don't get greedy. I know it might not be as much. Obviously, we're still gonna be holding our contracts, but don't make the mistake that I made on Tuesday, where we hit two price targets. I'm like, oh, I want higher, and dude, it went to shit. All right. Okay, so let's see if we can hit this price target. We're right there. Now, by the way, guys, if you guys want to start trimming out now, I mean, we're not really up too much, but the price target is right there. To be fair, if you guys obviously want to take skills, you guys can go ahead and do so. Yo, David, since I got a trading stop loss, would you recommend break even? Not yet, not yet. I would say do break even after 30 points. And by the way, guys, we hit PT1, so I'm gonna take some skills out. I'm gonna do 6 off. I don't want to take out too much because obviously I want to make some more money. But we just hit PT1, so guys, I just took 6 contracts off here. Okay, guys? So PT1 hit for 20 points. There we go. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. That is what I like to see, baby. Nah, I will say, guys, a winning trade is definitely healing me. I magically just don't feel the headache anymore. Okay, so guys, we just saw 30 points on the trade. So let's start moving our stop loss to break even. All right, guys. So do 4. I'm gonna do 4 at break even. All right, guys, because we hit 30 points on the trade. All right, 30 points from entry. Yeah, pretty much 30 points. So let's start doing break even. All right, sell 4, stop. Beautiful. All right, guys. Let me see. If you guys haven't scaled that already, guys, please keep up. Look, I don't care whether you're greedy. I don't care whether you want higher or lower. Guys, trade what the market is telling you, okay? Look at the 15-minute time frame. What did we just do? We hit PT1. Why? Because we are now inside of a bearish valley gap. What could be happening right now, guys, is a lower time frame pullback before we go lower. Keep in mind, the higher time frame is still bearish. All right, with the higher time frame still being bearish, right? What this could be right here is a pullback. All right, keep in mind we are in a seller territory. All right, we have a bearish rally gap right here. All right, guys, so we can reject at any given time. So make sure you take those scales and make sure you move your stop loss to break even whenever you get the chance. All right, guys, I don't care if you want more. All right, do what the market is telling you. All right, it's the only way to actually get this trade going. All right. I don't want you guys doing the same mistake that I made on Tuesday, bro. That thing haunts me to this day, bro. There's no way, dude. I don't even remember the last time I let a red trade. I mean, a green trade go that red, bro. I really don't remember, dude. I literally felt I felt so disappointed in myself, bro. Like, but I learned my lesson. Don't worry. I have a way on learning my lessons anytime I break my rules. But yeah, usually I know I don't know what got to me, bro. I'm serious. I'm super serious. I really don't know what got to me there. You're off for $200. Not bad, bro. Remember, this trade was a little bit riskier than usual. So if you guys don't make too much money, honestly, don't even beat yourself up from it. If we see another entry later today, if we do see break even, which we probably will, we're getting a little bit of a pullback here. If we see break even, guys, on this trade, honestly, we didn't really. Thank God we went break even. All right, we got a nice pullback there. All right, I think news came out or something. You guys saw that, right? We went break even. Good thing. Now, are we done for the day? Honestly, guys, no. We got a nice 35 point scalp. Not bad for quick profit. But guys, we could do more. We could do more today, right, guys? Must have been the win, probably. But thank God we went break even on this one, guys. Thank God we went break even because look at the news. Trump must have said something. All right. Now, am I done for the day? No. Honestly, I feel like we can make a little bit more of today. Although we got on 35 point trade, if you guys, whether you guys are green or not, or barely green or really green, doesn't matter. Guys, we can get one more trade today. All right. Now, will it be right now? Obviously not. I might take a little bit of a breather, maybe a little nap for my headache because this thing is killing me. But guys, I still believe we have room for higher. All right. So what we could do is we could probably, it's just gonna take a really long time because guys, what we could do is if the buying, okay, this pullback must have been the win. You know what I mean? It must have been news or whatever, right? But what we could do, guys, is we could wait for the market to give us more confirmations in terms of a reversal and wait for more buying to come in. Once we get that buying to really come in and tell us that, hey, like we're in control, we could take another shot at longs off of this 15-minute and 5-minute fair value gap right over here, take longs from here and target this New York high over here. Would you guys want to do that? Not bad, right? Can I enter off this pullback? I wouldn't suggest it, bro. I mean, we got stopped at our break even mainly because of news. So I would be careful. All right, I will definitely be careful with this one. Yeah, I would definitely do lighter sets for the second trade if we do end up getting it. Now, obviously, good scalp on this one. I'm not gonna consider this the best trade in the world, but it's green. Well, we made something, right? Closer to our goal. All right. Now I'm not the greenest today, and I know we can make the most out of it. So once again, guys, before you guys get off, because I know some of you guys might be getting off in the meantime. All right, pay attention. All right, before you guys get off. All right, 5 and 15-minute time frame. What do we do on the higher time frame? We took out every level of liquidity. We took out this one. We took out this one. We took out these two, and we took out the main low right down here. What are we doing right now? We are holding above the level of liquidity. What does this mean? Well, this means that price, as long as it holds above it, our buys start shifting from bearish to bullish. Although we're not super bullish just yet, right? We're definitely starting to lean more towards it. We're forming it. All right. So how exactly do we trade these confirmations? 5 and 15-minute entry model. All right. Look at the 5-minute time frame. What do we have? A very nice bearish rally gap over here. All right. 15-minute time frame. What do we have? A huge fair value gap right over here. All right. So what are we looking for? Well, what we're looking for is for enough buyers to step in, enough buyers to be like, hey, we're stepping in, we're in control, and we're about to inverse this bearish rally gap. Once we get the inverse right here, we can look to take longs, target this fair value gap, which honestly shouldn't be too much of an issue, especially if we inverse the biggest fair value gap of the day. And we can look to target this New York high all the way over at 23,090. All right. So are you guys good with it? It's normal. I got stopped out 10 points lower. Keep in mind, that's called slippage. All right. When news comes out, obviously the market spikes to the upside or to the downside. All right. And obviously, there's a lot of orders that have to get filled. And it might not get filled instantly. And obviously, as the market is pushing up or down, it might fill you at a lower or higher price. All right. Keep that in mind. I got filled a little bit lower. I got filled one tick lower, in fact. All right. But yeah, guys. Now before you guys get off, because let's take a little bit of a little break here. Before I'm gonna say, guys, this setup might play out during the PM session. But guys, how are you guys feeling with this scalp? Was it a good one? I know we didn't make much, but how are you guys feeling with it? Honestly, I'm grateful for every penny that I make off trading. So I ended up making about 170 off of this. You made 400. W scalp. How much did you guys make? Let's see. Yeah, we gotta be grateful for every dollar, man. I mean, we made this in about 5 minutes. You know what I mean? So we can't complain. We made $170 in 5 minutes. All right, 255. All right, perfect. So guys, remember, I'm not done for the day. I know I can make more, and I'm sure you guys know it as well. But let's wait a little bit longer for a new setup to form, and once we see it, we get back on live. We take it together, and we go from there. All right, guys. Top Step gave me an extra 200. No way, bro. I got stopped at break even, but Top Step is telling me that I made $300. Bro, for my Top Step traders in here, bro, you guys got blessed by the trading gods, bro. Wow. You got an extra 200. By the way, guys, if you guys are green on this scalp, guys, obviously you guys know the deal. Go post your profits over in the profit channel. Now, once again, for my new people in here, you might be like, yo, like, whoa, like, this, I'm not here for these little trades. Don't worry, guys. Obviously, we tried to get something. Didn't really, it worked out for like a minute, but something came out that the market is selling off. We still got did you stop trading Top Step? I have it on the side. Like I said, guys, remember, I can only do so much. You know what I mean? So I have my Top Step account just sitting there, just collecting dust. But if you guys want me to trade Top Step in the coming days, I definitely could. If you guys want to do that. What was the news about? Let me check for you. Actually, let me see. Nothing. Did the market? No, that stuff was not normal. Something must have come up, but I'm not seeing anything in terms of like a source of news. You know what I mean? Are we gonna go lower? I don't believe so. Look, I personally believe that we see higher. As long as we hold above this level of liquidity, I'm bullish. All right, now if we hold below it and we start breaking new lows and getting more selling and everything, then I mean, we can definitely work around it. All right, guys. But yeah. Anyways, I'm really I really want to stay on live, like I really do, but bro, my head is pounding, bro. Like it's actually getting to the point where I really want to get off. But I'm gonna stay on for a little bit longer. It's my job after all. I'm gonna ask my mom if she has some, what is it called, Tylenol or something. Maybe that'll help me out or something. Wait, guys, by the way, bro, dude, my brother just got his first payout today, bro. He just texted me. He's like, dude, I got $120 off this trade and I got the payout. Bro, fire, bro. That's fire. Anyways, let me see. Thank you. I got you guys. All right, let me catch up with someone said read the chat. Let me see. Dude, green healed the headache. It healed it for some time until I got stopped out. Now it's hurting again. Oh, okay. Let me see. It's not Trump. Let's say St. Louis Fed. ST is Saint, right? I'm just gonna say Louis, right? Louis Fed chair said there's gonna be an increase in risk of inflation. When isn't there, bro? You know what I mean? It's been like that for like the last 4 years. Also, there's a risk with tariffs that can. Oh, maybe that. I'm surprised no one has tweeted about it because typically I would know, but I guess not. All right. Let me see. David, completely off topic. Do you have a dash cam in your car? I did until I flew out of the car, bro. I did until, because dude, I had like that stick that goes to the back of your car. You know, like what is it called, the gap cam or something? Dude, I took a hard turn. I have yet to see it to this day, bro. That's just gone. Either someone took it without me realizing in traffic, like at red light, because I was probably on my phone, or I took a hard turn and that shit flew off. And dude, $700 down the drain. Never again, but I'm not buying that shit. I mean, so if we're all in a buy position and we're trying to scale, do we press sell? Yes, we do. And if you're in a sell position, you click buy to get out of that sell position. All right, keep that in mind. David, Is that another fair value gap that we created on the 5 minute time frame? Is that something to look at? No, we don't really have anything on the 5 minute time frame. Not from what I'm seeing. The only one that we have is up here, which is the 5 and 15 minute time frame. All right, so I'm gonna put it. Yeah, right there. Now 35 points. Uh, Typically I always kind of round it up or I rush it, but it was around there. Yeah, 30 points. I gotta edit it. But regardless, that was the 30 points to do break even. So thank God we saw that exact point right there to really take it there. Yo, Blast, do you use limit orders? No, I don't. No matter what, no, never. I'm always on the charts and I always make sure that I really take it. All right, like on my like manually. Blast, do you use software to journal trades? No, bro. I'm kind of like I was old school. I would have my own journal and really write it down on paper. I feel like I kind of memorize it more if I'm really writing it down rather than just typing something on a keyboard. All right. Now, do I journal? Do I still journal? Yes, but not the same way that I used to. You guys gotta keep in mind this entire Discord is my journal. I record everything. I post all of my entries. I post all of my thought process. Everything's posted. You know what I mean? So my Discord is my journal. But I used to have a paper journal, which honestly would help me out a lot more than like a Notion or whatever. But yeah, getting paid for journaling is insane. I mean, bro, I don't know what to tell you, bro. But yeah, anyways, guys. In the meantime, guys, look, before you guys get off, guys, go flood the profit channel over with your profits, whether it's 100, 200, $400, no matter what, guys. Profit is profit, and we made it in like 3 minutes. You know what I mean? So we can't complain. All right, David, the type of guy to have a pink diary. So what, bro? So what? But no, on a real note, guys. If you guys are green, guys, go post your profits over to the profit channel. And once again, be on the lookout for the Discord, guys, on the notification side, because I will be on today. All right, I'm gonna take a little bit of a nap because, guys, my head is pounding. I know I keep saying it, and it sounds like I mean, but yeah, you guys get the point. But I will be on later today to try to get one last trade. Keep in mind, guys, the trade that I am looking out for right now is the 15-minute inverse right over here for some longs into the New York high over here. All right, guys, will you come back on live? If the volume looks good, yes. If it's slow, I might just do an alert. You know what I mean? That's typically how it is. All right, guys. But yeah, all right. If anything, I'll see you guys later today. Like I said, guys, stay alert for the notifications. I will be on later. The day is not over. I want to, not that I want to. I know I can make a little bit more money on the side. Maybe like an extra $300 with one more good trade. So be on the lookout. All right, guys. I don't want you guys saying, "Oh, I didn't know." Blah 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 blah. Lock in. All right, guys. But yeah, guys, I'm gonna go take some medicine and try to fix this up. All right, guys. I'll see you guys later, maybe in the PM session. All right, guys. Take it easy. Go get some fresh air. I'll see you guys later today. All right, guys. Peace out, guys. Peace. And YouTube, guys, hopefully you guys were able to enjoy the stream, and hopefully you guys were able to make some money with me. Now, before we get off, all right, guys, before you guys click off the stream, pay attention. All right. On Tuesday, I know I took a red trade in the morning, right? You guys remember the red trade? Guys, I told you guys that I'll be live trading during the PM session that day. Look what we ended up catching on Tuesday, guys. So remember when we got stopped out because of the tariffs and everything? We caught a 45-point trade right after, right over here, guys. All right, so check this out. 45 points into our price target, guys. Into two of our price targets. Beautiful trade. All right, so for those wondering, like, hey, how'd you do on Tuesday? Did you end up, getting another winning trade? We did. Now, yesterday, I know I didn't go live because I don't trade FOMC days, but we did end up getting a trade going for about 55 points, as you guys see right here. Here's the entire game plan. For those wondering, hey, what was the stats for yesterday? Check this out, guys. So yesterday, we ended up catching a beautiful 55-point trade just like this. Everyone ended up making money. It was an amazing day. And obviously today, we streamed it on YouTube, so you guys should be green with us, which if you are, God bless, thank God that we were able to make some money in a few minutes. But check this out, guys. We ended up catching NQ longs, all alerted, all done live for about 35 points. Not the craziest trade, but hey, we have to take in every dollar that we can get. All right, we got to be grateful. All right, guys. So yeah, now what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, if you guys want to get access to, I will be live today in the PM session. So obviously you guys know I don't really go live on YouTube for the PM session. It's typically only like an AM session type of thing. So if you guys do want to take advantage of it, guys, you click the first link in the description and use code FLASH. That's FLASH for 70% off any premium upgrade. All right, guys, this will give you access to the education in the server, the futures alerts, the real time live trading, real-time setups to watch, real-time long-term investments, everything that you guys need to possibly master the model that I trade every single day and you get that you guys like and watch. It's on the server. All right, guys. So if you guys are interested in joining, guys, click the first link in the description. Use code FLASH FLASH for 70% off any premium upgrade. All right, guys. And if anything, I'll type it up in the YouTube chat just so you guys know as well. But hopefully you guys were able to enjoy this trade today. All right, guys. So check this out, guys. So here's the link. All right, and if you guys use code FLASH for 70% off any upgrade. But yeah, guys, hopefully you guys were able to enjoy the stream, guys, and God bless. All right, guys, make sure you're thanking the Lord every single day for every dollar that we make. All right, guys, we made about $170 in about 5 minutes. I'll take it any day of the week. You know what I mean? But yeah, guys, all right, in the meantime, guys, I'm gonna go rest up. I am feeling a little bit bad with, my headache and everything. So yeah, I'm gonna go take a little bit of a nap and take a little bit of medicine and hopefully come back later with some more money made. All right, guys. But other than that, guys, I'll be seeing you guys tomorrow on stream, 9:40 a.m. EST as always. And let's hope to end the week off right to make a little bit more money. All right, guys. But yeah, I'll be seeing you guys tomorrow at 9:40 a.m. EST. Peace out.